Welcome back to the second half of All About Money. We are living in the age where innovation matters a great deal. But how can we define and measure what is innovative enough and what's working? And more importantly, how is this new norm going to change the global business landscape? Still with us is Jason Tu, MioTech founder and CEO. Well, Jason, in the first half, we talked more about MioTech, the company as a whole, and your people. But we also talked a little bit about your product, Amy. So now I would like to talk more specifically about the product, because Amy is relatively new, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us more about it? How does it work? And can we really use this technology to measure innovation?
Well, there's no perfect way to measure innovation. I think of innovation as the future delivered right now. So Amy helps you to take a sneak peek at it. So how Amy does it is rather complicated, but let me try to explain it. Think of Amy as a 2-year-old right now. Or let me give an example of AlphaGo. Think about AlphaGo. When it was first launched years ago, engineers say that it has 2-year kind of equivalence, 2-year-old equivalence of intelligence. And as it plays against more and more top players, it gets smarter and smarter. That's the essence or the art of AI. Compared to traditional rule-based engines, we incorporate a lot of, for example, deep learning algorithm like convolutional neural network. Put it in simple words, it actually learns from both our customer behaviors and from the information that we feed to Amy. So the more it reads, like a 2-year-old, you tell him that this is a robot and it's very innovative. And he remembers that. And next time, when he sees a robot or sees something similar, he would judge and think, is it innovative? And if you reinforce that, the second time you tell him again, and he would, next time, for the third time, would tell you this is an innovative idea. So basically that's how Amy captures everything. We teach her every time that she reads something.
So it's like raising a child.
Absolutely. That's what gets us very excited
so
inside our team.
You're making money out of raising a child. But in terms of judging whether or not things are innovative enough, like how objective is it? Like, for example, what does it mean to investors if Amy says companies like, for example, Apple is more innovative than Samsung?
Well, as I said, it actually gives you a perspective of what AI thinks about things. Right now, AI is more like a black box where you feed him information. You would never be able to figure out what your son is thinking about when he is like 2 years old. But the inner structure, the inner construct, is like a human brain, where it defines neurons, the information passes through different neurons. So back to your question, what does it tell? It tells you that based on our algorithm or technology, Apple sounds more innovative as compared to Samsung. And let me remind you that every month we get 1.5 million online narratives. We have in our system, we have 120 million company profiles and 5 million personal profiles. So this, our result is based on a synthesize on all these kind of information that a human brain is not able to process, but a machine can.
So it means you always have a team of people feeding Amy information?
Yes.
Right. So I would like to bring the discussion back to artificial intelligence, like in a broader sense, because I would like to get your perspectives on like what value do you think AI could bring to the economies, the societies, and businesses?
For example, at MioTech, we want to make sure that AI is not only a disruptor, but also an enabler. More importantly, I would say an enabler. It enables human beings to be more efficient and to make better decisions and reduces the cost. A lot of people, for example, worry about the ethics of AI, but at MioTech, we take what we call a human-centered AI approach. I actually personally learned it from my home school, Stanford. So they have a human-centered AI, a set of human-centered AI principles. One of them, for example, I don't remember the specifics, but one of them is that it needs to benefit the overall society. So when we designed Amy, for example, in financial information industry, there are people who are working on technologies that can help speculators. But in our mind, the biggest value of finance is to allocate resources efficiently to the companies or to the sectors that needs the financial resource. So we took a value investing approach where a lot of the insights generated from Amy, we wanted to help people to find out values in the supply chain, in the industry, in the sector, or any of the emerging leaders that they traditionally wasn't able to see.
On the flip side, are there any dangers? Can Amy be a dangerous teenager?
No, it's not there yet. Forget about all the Hollywood movies. Artificial intelligence enables your team. It makes your team smarter, but it's not there yet. It's not going to be a random robot jumping out of the table, tell you what to do. So I think AI is a great technology that's going to bring human production to the next level. But it's never going to replace human being or pose any danger at this time.
So you think AI will not pose any dangers to the world economies at all?
There are other issues, for example, about ethics, about legal, about law. For example, like an autonomous driving vehicle, once it hits a person, whether it's the vehicle that hits the person, or the algorithm that hit the person, or actually it's the engineers behind it. But there's a much larger problem that we need to solve from a legal or from ethics perspective. But it's a good thing. Whenever there's new technology like the Industrial Revolution, whenever there are new developments of human society, we work together to solve these. So far, in our industry, Amy has been a huge enabler, proved by our clients. And our clients have given us great feedbacks in terms of improvement on efficiency, on the cost that they incur every day. So they totally loved it.
So in Asia, where do you think in Asia AI is going to make the biggest impact? Can you tell us some examples, like how your clients are benefiting from the technology of AI or Amy?
Absolutely. I think, of course, in our mind, it's the finance industry. First of all, in terms of data quality and the amount of data, the financial industry has the largest amount of both structured and unstructured data available. That's a very sweet thing in artificial intelligence. Basically, you can train the brain with a much larger data set. Remember the 2-year-old example? If your 2-year-old reads more books, and then he would become smarter compared to other kids. So there's a lot of information in the financial industry that is available for us to mine, for us to teach our artificial intelligence engine. So I think that's where the first batch of applications are going to be developed.
So in terms of the dangers of AI, we're going back to that topic again. So there are concerns about technology undermining existing business models and even threatening the job market. So what are your thoughts on this?
As I said, I actually think technology needs to be not only a disruptor, but also an enabler, which means that when you design the technology, you need to know the industry pain points. If you're not solving a pain point, that's a crappy technology that's not supposed to exist in the industry. So we are trying to make all the entrepreneurs or tech people are trying to make our society more efficient rather than displacing the workforce of human beings who are working over there. And also with the educational level, overall educational level of the human society going up in the last few decades, I think the whole society can be more efficient and can make better and better decisions, and in our case, investment decisions, with the power of AI.
But for AI to grow, we can't just develop AI. There are so many other things we need to think about. For example, cybersecurity. What do you think about this? Where are we at in terms of cybersecurity in Hong Kong? Is it at the level where it can support the growth of AI technology yet?
I was having a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and let me share with you this example. So we're arguing about an analogy. We think that constructing a building is similar to building a technology product. However, my friend argues that when you construct a building, after you construct it, you would put all the security measures. So that's not equivalent to security, what we're talking about. To me, security is the foundation of the building. If the foundation is weak, you build years and years of an awesome product, and all of a sudden you figure out there are security leaks, and the building just collapses. So to us, especially to MioTech, or to a lot of my fellow entrepreneurs who want to build a great product, build great technology, we spend more time on cybersecurity than anyone else. We've spent the past 2 years trying to develop AMI. And the first year, we spent almost I would say more than half amount of our time building the security measures, including deployment, encryption, internal compliance, so that we can make sure that it doesn't go wrong and the building won't collapse. And then the rest of the time, enhancing our technology so that we right now have a great product.
That was an interesting conversation, Jason. Thank you very much for your time today. That was Jason Tu, MioTech founder and CEO. This is it from this edition of All About Money. We'll be back right here on HKIBC again next Sunday. Good night.